Okay, this is unit 3.5, writing equations of parallel and perpendicular lines. All right, so make sure you have your notebook ready to go. Take good notes, and then you can rewind or pause as needed. So you've already learned how to write equations of lines, and you've already learned how to write equations of lines that are parallel and perpendicular. But now we're going to add in if they're horizontal or vertical lines, okay? And so your TEK is still A2G. It's a new one. It's called write an equation of a line that's parallel or perpendicular to the X or Y axis. And so they can ask you one of four ways: parallel to the X, perpendicular to the X, parallel to the Y, perpendicular to the Y. And we're talking about slopes that are zero or undefined. If you remember, a horizontal line is a zero slope, and a vertical line is an undefined. And so your goal today is I can write an equation of a line that's parallel or perpendicular to the X or Y axis. So remember horizontal lines. An equation of a line that's written as y equals a number is a horizontal line. The B is going to be that number. And so it's going to cross the y-axis at that number. Remember, the slope of a horizontal line is always 0. So for example, if I was to graph y equals 3, the way I do this is I say, okay, where is y equal to 3? Well, y is equal to 3 right here. And so I'm going to draw a horizontal line that goes through 3. So remember, it goes through the y-axis at 3. This is your y-axis. Goes through the y-axis at 3. Okay, where would y equal negative 2 be? Well, here's negative 2 on the y-axis. It's going to go through that point. All right, vertical lines is the opposite. So an equation of a line written as x equal a number is a vertical line. And the number is going to be the 0 or x-intercept. So it's where it's going to cross the x-axis. So vertical lines always have an undefined slope. Remember when we talked about the different types of graphs that we could have: positive, negative, 0, undefined? 0 was like a flat ground, and undefined was straight up and down. Okay, so x equals 4. We'll go through the x-axis at 4. Here's where x is 4. And we draw a line straight up and down through that x. X equals negative 3. Negative 3 is right here. And that line goes straight up and down through x. All right, so if you want to try this on your own, you can practice. And then after you get done, we'll check it. So go ahead and pause and practice. Okay, you should be back. So y equal 5. Y is equal to 5 here. And we would draw a line going straight across through that number. X equal negative 7 is here. And we would draw a line straight up and down through that number. Y equal negative 3 is here. And we draw a line going across to that number. So remember, put that number on that axis and then draw the according line. You need to memorize that y equals is horizontal and x equals is vertical. All right, it says graph a line with a slope of 0 through the point 2,1. And so the point 2,1 is right here. And a slope of 0 is horizontal. Graph a line undefined slope through the point negative 3, 4. Negative 3, 4 is here. What would an undefined slope be? It would be straight up and down. Remember, you need to memorize what type of slopes those are. A 0 slope is horizontal. It's a y equals. An undefined slope is x equals, and it's vertical. All right, graph the line parallel to y equal negative 6, and that passes through this point. So the first thing I want to do is put y equal negative 6 on that graph. And so I know that, well, I put the point on the graph, negative 3, 4. Okay, this is y equals negative 6. And so y equals negative 6, remember, it goes through the y-axis at negative 6. We want a line parallel to that. So it's another horizontal line that goes through this point. So if I draw that line, now can you write the equation of that line? It's going through which axis? The y-axis. Where? At 4. So that's y equals 4. So this is going to be the equation of y equals 4. All right, graph the line parallel to x equal 3 that passes through the point negative 6, 8. I'm going to plot negative 6, 8. And then I'm going to graph the line x equal 3. What would the line be that's parallel to that? It'd be straight up and down. It'd be x equals negative 6. All right, one more time. Negative 2, 6 is here. Y equals 4. When I graph that line, it goes through the y-axis at 4. And a line that's perpendicular would not be going this way. It'd be going straight up and down, right, to make it perpendicular. So it's going to be graphed this way, x equals -2. Graph the line perpendicular to x equals -8 and pass through the point -4, 3. This is the point -4, 3. And this is the graph of x equals -8. Remember, it goes through the x-axis at -8. So what would perpendicular? Would it be straight up and down or straight across? Well, to be perpendicular, it would need to go straight across. And so it would look like this. It would be y equals 3. Graph the line parallel to the x-axis. Which one's the x-axis? Well, remember, it's this one, right? So to be parallel, it's going to be another line that goes straight across. And so the point -4, 3 is going to be right here. And to be parallel to the x-axis, it would have to go straight across. So the equation of that line is going to be y equals 3. Remember, it goes through the y at 3. Perpendicular to the y-axis and passes through this point. Here's the point, -6, 8. The y-axis goes straight up and down. To be perpendicular, it'd have to go across. So it's going to be this line right here. You can see that this line and the y-axis make a 90-degree angle, right? So that's perpendicular. So it's this line, y equals 8. Okay, so that's pretty much it for horizontal vertical lines. It takes just a second to kind of get used to it. If you will remember that when you graph these y equals and x equals numbers, it's going to be, it crosses the y at that number or it crosses the x at that number. And then just understand what the difference in parallel and perpendicular is. After you do several of these on the practice, you'll get the hang of it. Remember, if you need help, you can come to tutorials from 4 to 4:30, and I'll be glad to help. And we'll take a quiz during the next class over this. All right, guys, thank you, and y'all have a great day.